The Style Council was an English band formed in Woking in 1983 by Paul Weller, the former singer and guitarist with The Jam, and keyboardist Mick Talbot, previously a member of Dexys Midnight Runners, The Bureau and the Merton Parkas. The permanent lineup grew to include drummer Steve White and Weller's then-wife, vocalist Dee C. Other artists such as Tracie Young and Tracey Thorn also collaborated with the group. As with Weller's previous band, most of this London-based outfit's hits were in their homeland. The band scored 6 top 40 hits in Australia, and 7 top 40 hits in New Zealand during the 1980s. History: the band showed a diversity of musical styles. Singles Speak Like a Child, the extended funk of Money Go Round, and the synth ballad Long Hot Summer all featured Talbot on keyboards and organ. Near the end of 1983, these songs were compiled on Introducing the Style Council, a mini-album initially released in Japan, the Netherlands, Canada, and the US only. The Dutch version was heavily imported to the United Kingdom. In 1984, the single My Ever-Changing Moods, backed with the Hammond Organ Instrumental Mix Company, reached number 29 on the Billboard Hot 100 in the US. The song remains Weller's greatest success in the US, while the group reached the peak of its success in the UK with the 1985 album Our Favorite Shop. The band played in New York City in May, 1984. In December 1984, Weller put together a charity ensemble called the Council Collective to make a record, Soul Deep, to raise money for striking miners and the family of David Wilkie. The record featured the Style Council and a number of other performers, notably Jimmy Ruffin and Junior Giscombe. In spite of the song's political content, it picked up BBC Radio 1 airplay and was performed on Top of the Pops. The Style Council took a more overtly political approach than the Jam in their lyrics, with tracks such as Walls Come Tumbling Down, The Lodgers, and Come to Milton Keynes being deliberate attacks on Middle England and Thatcherite principles prevalent in the 1980s. During this period, Weller was also instrumental in the formation of Red Wedge with Billy Bragg. He later said that this began to detract from the music. We were involved with a lot of political things going on at that time. I think after a while that overshadowed the music a bit. In 1986 the band released a live album, Home and Abroad, and in 1987 launched The Cost of Loving, followed later in the year by the non-album single Wanted, which reached number 20 in the UK singles chart. However, Confessions of a Pop Group, released a year later, sold poorly. This led to the band's record label Polydor rejecting their final album, which was influenced by the house scene. A greatest hits album called The Singular Adventures of the Style Council was released internationally in 1989. It included the non-album single Promised Land, which had reached number 27 in the UK earlier that year. In 1989 members of the Style Council went under the name of King Truman to release a single on acid jazz titled Like a Gun. This was unknown to Polydor, and the single was pulled from the shops 3 days prior to release. Acid Jazz founder Eddie Piller said the pair offered to make a single for my new label, which I'd just started with Radio 1 DJ Gillis Peterson as a side project. Talbot and Weller took pseudonyms Truman King and Elliot Arnold. The Style Council broke up in 1989. About the breakup, Paul Weller said, "It's something we should have done 2 or 3 years ago. We created some great music in our time, the effects of which won't be appreciated for some time." The cover version of Promised Land was the only release which surfaced from the Modernism sessions at the time. However, the entire album was released in 1998, both independently and in a 5-CD box set, The Complete Adventures of the Style Council. After the split, Weller embarked on a successful solo career. Talbot and White released 2 albums as Talbot White United States of Mind and Off the Beaten Track. Talbot and White then formed The Players with Damon Minshalla and Aziz Ibrahim. White and Minshalla went on to form Trio Velour whilst Talbot went touring with Candy Staton in 2009. All of the Style Council's UK releases featured the work of graphic designer Simon Harfen, who often collaborated with Weller to hone his ideas into a graphic form. Weller and Harfen began working together at the end of the Jam's career, and continued to work together on Weller's solo material. Discography. Albums Studio. Live, Home and Abroad No. 8 UK, The Style Council in Concert. Compilation. Many compilations have been released, although not all were released with the band's assent. Many of them feature orange text atop a white background with a picture of the band, typically one from 1987 showing all 4 members. The Singular Adventures of the Style Council, a Euro Greatest Hits Volume 1 No. 3 UK, Head Start for Happiness, Here's Some That Got Away No. 39 UK, The Style Council Collection No. 60 UK, extracts from The Complete Adventures of the Style Council, Master Series, The Complete Adventures of the Style Council, Classic Style Council, a Euro The Universal Masters Collection, Greatest Hits No. 28 UK, The Collection, The Best of the Style Council, a Euro Superstar Collection, Café Blue, a Euro The Style Council Café Best, The Best of the Style Council, a Euro The Millennium Collection, The Sound of the Style Council, The Ultimate Collection, Gold, Sweet Loving Ways, a Euro The Style Council Collection, Shout to the Top, The Collection. Singles Videos and DVDs What We Did on Our Holidays, a Euro The Video Singles, Far East and Far Out, a Euro Council Meeting in Japan, What We Did the Following Year, a Euro The Video Singles, Showbiz, a Euro The Style Council, Live. Jerusalem, Confessions of a Pop Group, The Video Adventures of the Style Council, excerpts from the Style Council on Film, The Style Council on Film, Classic Style Council, a Euro The Universal Masters DVD Collection, Live at Full House Rock Show. Other appearances During his time with the Style Council, Paul Weller made guest appearances on other recordings, most notably, Band Aid, a Euro Do They Know It's Christmas? People in Progress, a Euro This Is My Song. References. General, Munn, Ian. Mr. Cool's Dream. The Complete History of the Style Council. Hillpoint Publications. ISBN 0-9551443-0-2. External links, Mr. Cool's Dream, The Complete History of the Style Council, painstakingly accurate. Paul Weller, The Style Council at AllMusic.